Hey, all my Aquarius friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter, and I'm an intuitive astrologer. And today I'm going to do a little bit of a peek inside of 2023 and how the planetary activity will affect you. First of all, for the purposes of clarity, this video is based on whole sign Western astrology. So when I'm talking about the houses, it's based on Aquarius rising. I would also check if I'm an Aquarius moon, Aquarius sun, or if you have a stellium in Aquarius, because 3 or more personal planets in any one sign or house is going to be indicative of a focus, something that your soul wants to experience in order to offer its evolution and the choices that that situation will offer it or provide for it. So there we go. So Aquarius. The first thing I want to talk about is Saturn moving into Pisces. Pisces is your second house. By nature, the second house rules my family history. It rules my self-confidence and self-worth. It rules money. It rules comfort. It rules food. It rules my voice. It's naturally ruled by Taurus and Venus. So there's a sense of wanting material comfort and security in order to feel viable. And here, when we see Saturn move into your second house, what we're going to see is the potential that, well, let me back up a little bit. Saturn represents a lot of things. Initially, it represents restriction, authority, government, large institutions, traditional institutions, companies that have been around for hundreds of years. It represents boundaries. It represents human reality. It represents patience and wisdom. It represents maturity and moral obligation, self-discipline. It also represents my public view, like how people see me. Naturally, Capricorn rules the 10th house. Saturn rules the 10th house. Saturn rules the skeletal system, bones, teeth, and joints. And now we see Saturn in the house of Pisces, which rules creativity, imagination, dreams, intuition, healing, compassion, empathy. It also rules escapism and illusion. On sort of a mundane level, it rules hospitals, it rules research, it rules places we spend time alone, like the bedroom, where we literally dream from our sleep. It rules ashrams and retreats and hotels. So there's a side of it that can feel very restrictive, and yet that restriction can offer illumination through meditation, through self-reflection. It's a bit of a challenging dynamic, only because Pisces is the sign where we feel disillusionment and mistrust. We can feel a little bit, the emotional fluidity that Pisces offers can inadvertently make us want to escape the world and the harshness of the world. So this is where addiction lies. This is where we use spirits to mask our human experience. So here for Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces for me in your second house is giving you an opportunity to implement structures, to be determined and devoted with that which you want to birth into the physical world to contribute to your financial well-being. The second house rules the skills that I have that I bring out into the world versus the 8th house, which rules other people contributing to my financial well-being. Pisces also rules the absorption of toxicity. So here I think that there's the potential with the Aquarian energy of already being rebellious and willing to buck the system. You could find yourself being aware of the restrictions that are being placed on some of our institutions related to education, to the medical community, to our financial institutions, and our, what's my other note? Oh, our food system as well, which would be the second house. So here I think that what you may experience is a bit of initial fear and trepidation, isolation, and, Aquarius by nature rules the nervous system. And I believe that the reason that it rules the nervous system is this is an alerting system. When Aquarius is going a direction that is too mundane or too herd animal or too focused in on old structures that really don't serve, I believe there's this like nervous energy that starts to pulsate through you to say, realign to your individuality, your uniqueness, your genius, your brilliance, because that brilliance gets to be birthed into the collective and serve humanity. So here, I think that there's the potential that as we initially, when Saturn enters Pisces in March of 2023, we may see restrictions come up around our communities, around our neighborhoods and our everyday lives, a revisit a little bit, maybe not quite like 2020, but similar to it. And in doing so, it's going to reveal another layer of individuality that I'm looking for. And it's going to stoke the masses into an awakening from their slumber of giving their power away to structures that no longer serve us. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So a lot of the things that we're going to see here are going to be involving liquid. So there could be, you know, the water signs rule the water of the body. So here we're going to see the Piscean energy and Neptune's influence on the blood, mucus, the lymphatic system, our immune systems. Pisces rules viruses and bacteria. Pisces rules research about these things. So I feel as if, without using too many inflammatory words, that there's going to be an energy of rebellion against these things, that you're going to want to have more of an influence over yourself, your body, how your body's being treated. And that is going to come as a result of an initial restriction of some kind, or a regulation of some kind that feels out of balance. And then as we each stand for our rights of freedom of choice to take care of our bodies the way we want to, you may see yourself involving yourself on some level. It doesn't mean that you have to pick up, you know, a banner and march for the imbalance, but I do feel as if, you know, we're moving into the Aquarian age. Your energy is the future. And we're going to see Pluto dip its toe into your first house in a minute. So I really feel like there's going to be this, how do I want to phrase this? A more individualistic view on the things that are being put upon you by structures that you may not necessarily agree with. And as we come together in our collective consciousness, we will rewrite these imbalanced structures that are disempowering us and making us feel disillusioned with those that we have traditionally thought were caring for us and taking care of us. Many of the large companies have purported their branding and their marketing as being supportive of us, nurturing us, loving us. You know, we see certain companies put their hands out and they say, you can put your hands in these companies. We're going to have a discerning eye about that moving forward. I hope I'm not being too cryptic in how I'm trying to say this, because I don't want to key in anything that would prevent you from assessing this information. Being very, very cagey here. Okay, so ultimately, I think what we're going to see is Saturn offering us an opportunity to master. And again, Saturn is your co-ruler. So there's a mastery of building my spiritual tools and my spiritual body within the material through devotion and commitment to a bigger picture of things. I think on a mundane level, there's a kind of an excitement, because I think we're going to start to see Saturn's influence out in our oceans. I think we're going to see research and exploration of the depths of our ocean. I think we're going to discover ancient civilizations and evidence of ancient vessels that tell us more detail about where we come from and what has been experienced throughout humanity that may inadvertently not be addressed in this age. I believe there's extraterrestrial life, there's life beyond this planet, and I believe we'll discover that in our oceans over the next 10, 20 years. But this is going to be teed up a bit because Saturn moving into Pisces is going to build within water. So I think that's pretty exciting. I also want to say this. I believe that there will be structures that are built in the oceans to support the research. And then as we see the research and the exploration be viable, that these structures are sustainable, we may actually see man migrate into more communities that are built in aquatic situations or environments. Okay, now we have Pluto moving into your first house in March. Now, if I remember correctly, I'm not really addressing Uranus in this video, but I believe that Uranus is going direct either on the 23rd or right about there. So now Pluto is moved for just a tinge of a second, 3 months at the 0 degree, and it will remain at the 0 degree in Aquarius. For those early born Aquariuses, this is going to be extremely powerful for you because from March 23rd until June 11th, we're going to see that 0 degree Aquarius, and then Pluto is going to go retrograde back into Capricorn, blow up a few old structures that aren't working, and then migrate back into Aquarius in January 24 and stay there until 2044. So this is going to be a revolutionary energy of you and yourself and how you project yourself in the world, how people perceive you. I feel as if this is going to be a complete liberation from anything that has held you back, especially if it has been something that has been tied to your how do I want to phrase it? Your nervous system. If you've been having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, all of this has felt to me as if it is this combination of Saturn's energy wanting us to stay in the old ways on its lower vibration, and then Uranus wanting to pull us into a new age, new technologies, new opportunities. When Pluto moves into Aquarius, the digital imprint that humans, it's going to start to go really, really fast. And then when your ruling planet Uranus moves into Gemini, just for a minute in 2025, we're going to really see evidence of that start to get rooted into the earthly experience. So you already allowing yourself to dig into the deep psychological imprint that you have as you were raised on this earth, because Pluto is all about the deep psychological imprint. It's about where we've given up our power and we've allowed others to dominate us or let their influence dominate us, or we've been the opposite. We've been dominating others, but it's been out of balance. This is an opportunity to bring this back into a balance, starting with the epiphanies that the 0 degree offers us. This infusion of this new energy that's pure and kind of seeing, like, the way I want to phrase it is, it hasn't been tainted yet. It hasn't been slimed with what is expected. So it's really very, very exciting. I think what we're going to see is Aquarius be more invested in human rights and in civil rights issues. I think they're going to become the forebearers of wanting transparency and information, and the cleaning up of the internet in some respects, the World Wide Web, from maybe things that are not authentic information that is skewed or manipulative. And that's going to bring Aquarius into an energy of wanting to take a stand, make a stand, and maybe just in your own personal life. And in doing so, this has a ripple effect. Jupiter is going to move into your 4th house of home, which is Taurus, in May 16th, 2023, and to stay there until May 24th, 2024. Jupiter, wherever it goes, brings expansion. It brings good luck and wealth and abundance and faith. So here, I think this is going to give Aquarius a new sense of home. And I'm imprinting this with not because your relatives agree with your uniqueness and your individuality, but this is now being anchored inside of you. I feel as if Jupiter is going to bring some of you may actually change lands, move from one land to another land, move from, say, the United States to Europe, or the United States to Mexico, or vice versa. But overall, I think what it's going to do is bring a self-confidence in your skills, in your own voice. And in doing so, it's going to stoke the abundance that you can provide for yourself and your home and your sense of security, your sense of self-nurturing. And I do believe this is going to stoke your intuition and your inner knowing and your connection to the other side in ways that you haven't perceived before. This is very, very exciting and very, very expansive. And by nature, Aquarius is expansive. And that expansion is so innovative that it triggers anxiety, because the human experience is so small and dense and cookie cutter. And Aquarius is not cookie cutter at all. So now we see the nodes, the North Node moving into your 9th house of Aries, and the South Node moving into your 3rd house of Aries. Let me repeat that. The North Node is going to move into your 9th house, and that's Aries, and the South Node is going to move into your 3rd house of Libra. Do I have that right? Yeah, no. If your 4th house is Taurus, your 3rd house is Aries. I messed myself up here. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Let me just get my mind together. Aquarius, Pisces, 3rd house is Aries. Okay, got it. I don't know why my brain just went zzz. I've got the South Node on my Mercury. Okay, so your North Node is going to be Aries. This is going to be a wanting to birth yourself into the physical world, into your community in a really strong, individualistic, brave way. I always think of Aries as the hero. Oftentimes we would just want to make it the warrior that is out of control, like a banshee. But I think of it as a military and our heroes that fight for our freedom. And what does Aquarius do? It's a freedom fighter. So I really think that this South Node the North Node in Aries is going to bring this strong feeling of excitement for what can be, not what is. Now we go into the 9th house where Libra is for you. And this is going to offer you an opportunity to really, I always think of the South Node as representing an egoless energy, an energy that is asking me to not want other people's agreement, not need them to validate me in order to know my truth or know what is important to me. So here, Libra is naturally a sign of diplomacy, naturally a sign of cooperation, naturally a sign of partnership. And so there's going to be this rewrite in some ways of what you believe about overly compromising or being unsure about yourself within your partnerships, as if I'm too individualistic, if I'm too rogue, if I'm too rebellious, will I still be lovable? And I think this is where Spirit is going to ask you to be egoless in that endeavor, to say, you know what, if indeed for some reason this South Node in Libra creates a change for you that you were not expecting, it's opening an opportunity to bring more like-mindedness, to connect with your soul tribe, to feel more appreciation from those partnerships versus Saturn's influence on Aquarius, which is to be restricted and not be able to express myself. So I think this is really powerful. The nodes will go into, the North Node will go into Aries and the South Node will go into Libra in July 18th, 2023 and stay there until January 2025. So I think this is really going to give an opportunity for a new, renewed sense of faith in your individual expression that then will support the partnerships, the cooperation, the harmony that you're looking for as you step into an energy that says, I don't want to be heartless, but I cannot care more about what you think than what I think about myself. It's as simple as that. And it, to me, is a very benevolent energy to love oneself, because in that loving of oneself, in that willingness to drive myself forward, I'm actually offering an invitation for others to do the same. And when we align in our individual endeavors, we come together for the collective. So that's what I have to say for Aquarius, as sort of an overview for 2023. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. If you'd like to book a reading with me, I'm available. And please join me Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Pacific time, where we, being me, do a live stream and we look at the upcoming transits. It's the angel's advice for traversing the transits of the week ahead. I call them angel scopes. So I hope you will join me there Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And in the meantime, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and share these videos. I appreciate it so much. I'll be back soon with more content. Peace out.